It's Zenzi. I've been doing some readings. Today, we're going to get Sarah Bakewell. Possibly, Humanly Possible. It's about 700 years of humanist freethinking and inquiry and hope. And look at that picture. It's like Zora Neale Thurston is like Hursted. See what I'm saying about my languaging? There's a glitch between what's in the brain and what comes out the mouth. It's a very interesting thing, and this is what we're exploring. Anyway, I do want to read page 300, 301, and we'll go forward to 338. To talk about Lord Bertrand Russell, fellow philosopher, and the only one who got me my sole current civil disobedience was getting sent to the principal's office my last year of high school, my third one, for reading Why I'm Not a Christian. Big story, but no, tiny story. Very tiny man. Okay, so anyway, there's some stuff about Russell had created a school, very liberal school. So juicy tales of this kind would come back to haunt Russell. In 1940, when he was separated from Dora, who continued running the school for a while, he was teaching in California. He was given the impression that a new post at the City College of New York was his for the asking. He resigned in California and went to New York, almost with his last cent, only to find that the job was not his, after all. His reputation had scuppered it. Love the British, right? Okay, the college withdrew the offer, because yes, Lord Russell is British philosopher. He worked with his mentor, Lord Alfred Russell. They did Principia Mathematica, which is a big thing with me and Kurt Gödel. The Principia Mathematica, big achievement in logic, and Gödel came in and was like, oh, not such a big achievement. Pharma. Oh, not such a big achievement, says Zenzi. Okay, the college withdrew the offer on the pretext that he was not a U.S. citizen. The matter came to court, where the lawyer described Russell's works as lecherous, libidinous, lustful, venomous, erotomaniac, aphrodisiac, irreverent, narrow-minded, untruthful, and bereft of moral fiber. He wrote the Principia Mathematica, logic. Works. You know, in a liberal school, the kids was just like allowed to be kids. The kids was allowed to be kids. That's the essence of what went on. Russell's family ran around naked in England, he said. Moreover, Russell winks at homosexuality. I'd go further and say he approves of it. Russell lost because technically it was true that he was not a U.S. citizen, which invalidated any claim to the job. He was left stranded, age 67, penniless and with considerable family commitments, and with the Second World War underway on the other side of the Atlantic. But Russell's lucky stars worked for him again, producing salvation in the form of a wealthy chemist, Albert C. Barnes. Using a fortune earned from co-inventing the antiseptic later marketed as Argyrol, used for eye diseases, Barnes had set up a foundation to advance education, art, and the study of botany. Barnes Foundation still exists today, as a gallery in Philadelphia. He hired Russell for a generous fee to deliver a series of lectures on philosophy through the ages. These eventually turned into a book, The History of Western Philosophy. All those things, lecherous, libidinous, he's writing philosophy, which became an enduring bestseller. The money it brought in helped Russell keep solvent and independent for the rest of his life, thus funding much of his future activism. We philosophers, we are the ones. Okay, so we're going to skip through to page 338. And here we are. The most obvious aspect in which humans needed to pull themselves together in the aftermath of the Second World War concerned nuclear weapons. Jean-Paul Sartre put it in October 1945. The lesson of Hiroshima and Nagasaki was that, from now on, I'd heard them said, it would always be up to human beings to decide whether they wanted to survive or not. The ultimate existentialist decision. Another public humanist who phrased the problem in a memorable way was Bertrand Russell. He concluded in a 1954 radio broadcast, man's peril, with a call to make a choice. Lord Russell says, there lies before us, if we choose, continual progress in happiness, knowledge, and wisdom, Shall we instead choose death because we cannot forget our quarrels? I appeal as a human being to human beings. Remember your humanity and forget the rest. If you can do so, the way lies open to a new paradise. If you cannot, nothing lies before you but universal death. Yo, I am the Your Globe's original consulting well-being philosopher. I got life-centric thinking. All 8 billion of us across every nook and cranny of Earth. Just switch to global hive mind. Have the idea of life-centric thinking available to you. It will solve all the chaos. Guaranteed. Remember your humanity. Forget the rest. The rest being national interest, vanity, pride, prejudice, despair, and anything else that gets in the way of choosing to live. Okay, so Russell used this again in another of those international conferences, this one taking place in 1955, hammering out a manifesto to be signed by concerned scientists, among them Albert Einstein, just a few days before his death. This is called the Pugwash, whatever, from Nova Scotia. That's where they held the place. Bertrand Russell continued to be a stalwart of the anti-nuclear campaign, writing about it and taking part in demonstrations for the rest of his life. After one such occasion in 1961, he was convicted of inciting the public to civil disobedience and was sentenced to a week in Brixton prison. He was now 89 years old. The magistrate did try to let him off in exchange for a promise of good behavior, but Russell would promise no such thing. Like Voltaire and Zenzi now, he became only more fearless and provocative as he went on in life. I'm amongst my people, philosophers. I need to become the first performance art philosopher of life-centric thinking. And it's all based on very rigorous scientific hypotheses like Uncle Albie as the she-Einstein of consciousness. The philosophical hypothesis of bioelectromagnetism opens up a world of placebo tools for the people. You're going to heal your own childhood trauma. Know what to do when mental illness, which is not really an actual disease or diagnosis, it's bioelectromagnetic dysfunction. You can't be who you are if your body is not conducting bioelectromagnetism optimally. Harmony.